Gilmore Girls entered mainstream TV with the intention of exploring a mother-daughter relationship like no other, and the pilot wastes no time in establishing that Lorelai Gilmore is not a regular mom. She's a cool mom. While the show builds this modern bond between Lorelai and Rory, it also explores the fractured relationship between Emily and her daughter, Lorelai. This is the start of my Gilmore segment. I have another Carrie Bradshaw ready for publishing, but I fear that this channel is slowly taking the anatomy of Carrie Bradshaw and co. So here we go. Emily Gilmore is the perfect template to challenge the cultural narrative that a mother's love is inherently unconditional. The first time we see Emily and Lorelai interact is when Lorelai visits her parents to ask for money for Rory's children's fees. Their body language is stiff. The dialogue is awkward and is filled with more pauses than words, and from this we can gather that Lorelai only visits her parents on Easter's and Christmas. She was in a type of a no-contact relationship before we even called it that. One of the ways that Emily is written with nuance is through her desire to mother. A part of her motivation is wanting a functional relationship with her daughter. The first time we see this clearly is during Rory's birthday visit. Emily looks through Lorelai's room and finds a picture of her in a cast. Lorelai broke her leg 3 years ago, and because of her no-contact relationship with her parents, Emily never knew. The heartbreak on Emily's face is a rare flash of genuine maternal instinct. She wants to know when her daughter is hurt, and she feels like a failure for not being privy to this information. We see this again when Lorelai has a back spasm. Emily's concern is immediate, and she insists on spending the night to help if Lorelai needs anything. Emily Gilmore is deeply flawed, but those flaws do not negate her desire to care for her daughter. Emily's introduction as a grandmother is warm and sincere. Within one episode, she has already secured Rory parking space, arranged a DSL connection, and wants to buy her a car. On the surface, her motivations seem harmless. What is so wrong with a grandmother wanting the very best for her granddaughter? As season 1 progresses, Emily increasingly inserts herself into Rory's social life. One example is when she throws Rory a birthday party and invites Chilton students and people from her social circle. Rory is overwhelmed, and when Emily asks her to give a speech, she snaps. I need to add that Lorelai had initially asked Emily to excuse them from the Friday night dinner so that they can celebrate Rory's birthday, but Emily insisted that as per their contractual obligation, they have to be there and she will take the liberty of throwing Rory a birthday party. Lorelai had made this request because she thought it would be better and comfortable for Rory to have her birthday at home, and Emily said no. So Emily turning around and asking Rory to address the guest, to which she responds with discomfort, was very much predicted by Lorelai. After the guests have left, Emily turns cold and distant. She resorts to silent treatment when Rory tries to apologize and invite her to her Saturday birthday party. Even though Emily was warned that Rory would not be comfortable having her birthday at the Gilmore residence, I can understand her being disappointed that Rory is not being appreciative. But silent treatment on a 16-year-old is mad business. She does something similar when Rory and Dean fall asleep at Patty's dance studio. Lorelai refuses to jump to conclusion, but Emily assumes the worst. After the disagreement on how to handle Rory sleeping out, Emily uninvites Lorelai from her Christmas dinner. This is the second time she uses detachment to punish anyone who doesn't meet her expectations or doesn't agree with her thought process. Across the first 2 seasons, we see that Emily equates motherhood with provision. To her, being a good mother means providing education, social status, and etiquette. She is genuinely confused that Lorelai views her as a harsh, judgmental, and controlling mother. In Emily in Wonderland, she tours Stars Hollow and sees the tiny shed where Lorelai and baby Rory lived after Lorelai left home. Instead of asking why her 16-year-old daughter chose a shed over her own home, Emily channels her shock into redecorating Rory's room at the Gilmore residence and uses this to spite Lorelai. What Emily is missing is that Lorelai once mentioned that even if she had not fallen pregnant, she still would have left her home because she felt suffocated under Emily's control. When Lorelai gets engaged to Max, she avoids telling her parents, and a part of this is her doubt about the engagement, but a big part of it is fear. She fears that Emily will say something unkind and ruin her experience of being engaged. Lorelai doesn't want to feel bad about her upcoming wedding, and due to the emotional damage that their relationship holds, she knows that her mother is not a safe space. Suki invites Emily unaware that Lorelai hasn't shared the news yet. And when Lorelai finally tells Emily, she responds with cold neutrality. Emily's motivations for her neutrality is that she is the last person to know about her daughter's engagement. During their resolution, Lorelai admits that she doesn't know how to tell her mother things because their conversation always go bad. She asked Emily for her opinion on the veil, and Emily says that Lorelai's head is too big for a veil and a tiara would be a better fit. She doesn't intend any harm, but we know from earlier episode that Lorelai cut all her baby photos because Emily constantly reminded her that her head was unusually large. Lorelai is always the subject of criticism to her mother, and because of this, she has become wary of her mother's intentions, and she's usually the first one to warn us, the audience, and Rory to be cautious of Emily's intentions. Emily has always been clear about her need to feel needed. She uses money to set rules for Lorelai, knowing very well that it's the one form of leverage Lorelai cannot easily reject. When Lorelai's house is infested with termites, and she learns that she needs at least $5,000 to fix the foundation, she tries to secure a loan but fails. Rory mentions the situation to Emily, and this episode made me realize that my girl Rory just loves a soft life. She doesn't want to deal with any of that. Lorelai gave her a strict instruction to not share the news with her grandparents. She mentioned that she will take care of it, she will figure a way out, and Rory and her massive mouth went on and told Emily Gilmore that, listen lady, we need some dollars. She steps in by signing as Lorelai's surety. She then announces that she will start hosting her DAR meetings at the inn. Emily uses the situation to put herself into Lorelai's space, knowing very well that if she were to ask directly, Lorelai would say no. She does this again in season 2 when she tricks Lorelai into going to the spa with her. Emily presents it as a gift, waits for Lorelai to accept, and then reveals that she has 2 tickets and will be joining her. Emily has a lot of ways that she could use to rebuild her relationship with her daughter, but she realizes that those require honest reflection, and that's not something she's interested in. When Lorelai realizes that she's been manipulated into spending the weekend with her mother, she calls the spa to rearrange their itinerary such that none of their events happen at the same time. This means that she does not want to spend a minute of her time with her mother. And her mother, anticipating that Lorelai would pull something like this, calls the spa to set back their itinerary to match so that they can spend every single minute of the weekend together. The amount of passive aggressiveness between these two is crazy work. Emily recognizes that her child doesn't want to spend time with her, but she's not doing any of the emotional work that is required such that she can repair the relationship that she has with Lorelai. Instead, she anticipates what Lorelai is going to do and tries to counter that. A similar thing happens again when Trix offers to release Rory's inheritance early to pay for her children's fees. Emily plants the idea in Lorelai that if Rory has money, she won't need her anymore. She projects her own insecurity, the belief that a relationship between a mother and a child can only last if the child needs the mother. She even goes to Richard to have him talk to his mother to withdraw the offer that she had made to Lorelai. Her motivations rest in knowing that this would remove the Friday night dinner obligation, and instead of letting Lorelai know that she is afraid to lose their time together, she resorts to manipulative tactics. Emily and accountability do not exist in the same realm. She could easily just communicate that, Lorelai, I still want you in my life. Can we try to rebuild our relationship? I would love for you to visit me every now and then. And leave it to Lorelai to decide if she wants to have the relationship as well. But no, she prefers the route that is going to allow her to create a situation that is going to force Lorelai to be in her life and have her spend time together. Season 1 and 2 of Gilmore Girls use Lorelai as the narrator of her own childhood, and because of her unserious nature and stalled emotional development, it's easy to overlook how harsh her childhood home was. Emily Gilmore is Lorelai's constant critic, always ready to remind her of things that she's not great at doing. And when it comes to Rory, all the great things that Rory is praised for are not attributed to Lorelai. And all the not so great things that Rory does, it's Lorelai's fault. Emily Gilmore is manipulative and controlling, and when I look at her patterns, I understand why Lorelai went semi-no contact for 16 years. Kelly Bishop did a phenomenal work bringing the character of Emily Gilmore to life, playing an overbearing mother who is completely tone deaf to her own shortcomings naturally. Do you think that Lorelai took it too far by going semi-no contact with her parents, or was it justified? Let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching, and mwah!